What's up guys, I'm Redken Global Artistic Ambassador Maggie Perry, and today I'm gonna teach you how to take a bleach retouch to the perfect dimensional summer blonde. Let's get into it. Okay, Sadie, what are we gonna do?
Something a little bit more lived in, but still blonde. I am getting married in a couple months.
Yeah. Okay, so you don't want to be platinum for your wedding. Before you said you did.
I know, I'm always going back and forth, but I think my scalp will thank me.
Okay, yeah. Do you have any pictures of lived-in blonde that you like so I can get an idea?
I think I like this, where it's still very blonde, but you've got like dimension.
How far down you want the dimension to come?
Not too far, because I still like that.
You want all the ends you want still?
Yeah.
Okay, a little bit blonder in the front. So like the dimension like to here?
Or even higher.
Okay. So today we are going to do a reverse Airtouch with a Scandinavian hairline topped with a Shades EQ melt, and it's going to be absolutely gorgeous. So let's get into sectioning then. I am gonna do a Mohawk section. She wants it to be uniform dimension. We're gonna keep the dimension high in this top part. For this top section, this is gonna be where most of our blonde lives. And I'll explain more about that when we get into the Airtouch application. And then we're gonna come to the corner here of this Mohawk section, straight down to the ear, to the back of the ear. Same thing on the other side. Corner down to the back of the ear. And then in the back, we're going to simply section it straight down the middle. So 2 back sections. Very simple, guys. Very standard sectioning. All done, just like this. So before we start the application, let's talk about doing reverse Airtouch and the different kinds to get different results. So when you're doing reverse Airtouch, you have to think about where people want the dimension to start. So when you look at their inspo photo, does it stop here, still extremely blonde? Is the dimension coming further down through the ends? So you would take a section like so. When I hold my fingers all the way down the shaft, I'm gonna get a lot of dimension. So when you do reverse Airtouch, you actually color the underneath piece, the shorter piece, not the top piece. Like when you do blonding, you're highlighting the long piece. But if you can see here, when I hold down like this would cause the dimension to come all the way down to the bottom. So we're gonna use the hair cycles to create her desired dimension. Hold it higher up. So when I hold these sections out, these are the different hair cycles of the hair. The longest section, second longest, third, and final the shortest. So if you select this section, you're gonna have the least amount of dimension and preserve the most blonde. If you incorporate this one, the dimension will be even further down And then finally this one, bringing the dimension almost all the way to the ends. You have to think about that when you're applying the dimension. The higher up you hold it, the shorter the hairs up here, the less dimension. The further down you hold it, the more dimension you're gonna get. Once you understand that, it's really easy to customize your reverse Airtouch. What I'm gonna do on her is in the back, I'm gonna pull down more dimension, on the sides, a little bit less, and then on the top, the very least. So we're gonna have maximum brightness on the top, and we're gonna have that nice gradual dimension in the back for the blonde to lay on top of. It's gonna be gorgeous. All right guys, so on my tray, I have some medium-sized pre-ripped foils. I have my mini blow dryer, a weaving comb, and a foiling board. That's literally all you need. Now let's get to the formula. For our formula for our reverse Airtouch, I am going to be using Shades ALK. I want a little bit more coverage. I want to darken her natural just a touch. So this is going to be perfect because it's gonna add some deposit. So I am doing 20 grams of 7N, 20 grams of 6N, and 3 grams of 7C. I'm adding copper to the formula just a touch to warm things up, to fill it just a little bit so that her color doesn't come out flat. I mix that with 10 volume at a 1 to 1.5 ratio, and it's gonna be perfect. Let's get into the application. All right guys, we're gonna start in the back, and I am going to put my hair up because things are getting serious. So in these two back sections, this is where I'm gonna have the most dimension. Her nape hairs are a little on the shorter side. Comb the hair first, make sure everything's nice and organized. Place the blow dryer on the hair before you turn it on. Pull down those bottom hairs. Pull up on the longer piece. Clip it. Grab the short piece. Place your foil underneath. And apply your color. All the way up to that line of demarcation. I have done a lot of adding dimension to bleach outs. It's really, really hard to make a bleach retouch into a dimensional look. You would think that it would be easy, but it's very challenging. And I have found that this is definitely the best way to convert somebody from a bleach out to dimension. Okay, now we're gonna pull down that long piece and we're gonna place a clip right here. Do not forget this step because next time when you blow down, you don't wanna be combining these sections. So pull your piece down, put your foil in, take your next section. I'm going slightly diagonal back. I'm also taking way thicker sections than if I was doing a traditional Airtouch doing blonding. The reason for that is because you want thicker pieces to create more movement in your dimension. If you do super thin sections and blow them out, the dimension is just gonna get lost. So you need to do thicker sections when you wanna break a really hard line of demarcation. Combing the hair. Pushing down the dimension. In the back, I'm bringing the dimension down lower so that we have that added depth underneath in the back. You can clip it, or if you have an assistant, they can hold it for you. Place the foil underneath, go up to the line of demarcation. I'm not going into her root quite yet because I'm gonna do a root melt on her after this, so no need. I am wanting to add a little bit of depth. I want to make her roots slightly darker. That's why I opted for putting a level 6 into this formula. She's a natural level 6, 7. Like, I'm serious. I'm not even joking. But since her hair is porous, it will absorb a little bit darker, but I do want to add a little bit of depth just to make her blonde pop a little bit more because she is so naturally light. Placing my clip here. Once more, we're gonna take a thicker section, a little less than a 1/2 inch. Combing the hair. Blow drying down my dimension. Also, if you want to add even less dimension, or you're nervous about doing this and you want to keep them more blonde, you could always take this piece and then weave it and drop down more blonde so that you're adding even less dimension. Place your foil in. Apply your color up to the line of demarcation. All right, guys, I'm gonna keep doing that all the way up to the top, just like this, very simple. Whoop, all the way up. And then the same thing on the other side. And then I'll bring you back for what we are going to do on the sides. Okay guys, we finished the back. Now we're gonna move on to the front. Since I'm doing a Scandinavian hairline on her to keep it nice and bright, I'm gonna pre-section this front piece. It's about a 1/2 inch thick. I'm gonna clip this off. And now I'm gonna come in, moving diagonal back. I want to maintain brightness around the face. So I'm going to comb the hair. I'm going to hold it up closer. Drop down less hair, the short section, to maintain more blonde. Clip my piece down. Next section, still moving diagonal back. Dropping down the small section. And now, as I continue to move back, I'm gonna blow down longer pieces. So in the front few foils, I'm gonna blow down the short piece to maintain more brightness around the face. And then as I move back, I'll blow down longer and longer pieces. That way we're gonna create a gradient of dimension like so. Okay, one more time. Perfection. All right, I'm gonna continue doing that all the way up this section like so, diagonal back, coming up to a point, ending with a triangle, moving up the section like so, gradually dropping down a little bit more hair as I go. I'm gonna do that exact same thing on the other side, pre-sectioning out this front piece 1/2 inch for our Scandinavian hairline, and then moving up, and then I'll bring you back for the final section, the Mohawk section. Okay, we are on to the final section. So like the sides, I am going to trace out her hairline to make sure that we preserve that for her Scandi. About this thick. So similar to what we did on the sides, we're gonna start in the back and we're gonna blow down longer hairs. And as we get closer to the front, we'll go shorter and shorter to, again, create a gradient in our dimension that will show up like this. Boom. We are gonna start in the back. We're gonna go straight across. Doing a Mohawk section is gonna create a nice uniformity. Combing up. And dropping down our dimension. Clipping down the blonde and repeat. So one more. And we're gonna repeat that all the way through, all the way up to the front, slowly getting shorter and shorter with our pieces, and then I'll bring you back for a full recap of the foils. All right, team, we finished all of her foils. Just a quick recap, we sectioned out her hairline, nice and fine section because we are gonna save that for her Scandinavian hairline. In the back 2 sections, we had a lot of dimension, we pulled it down low. Moving to the sides, we did less dimension towards the face, shorter pieces, moving into longer pieces to create gradients. And then finally on the top, shorter pieces blown out towards the front. As we move to the back, longer and longer pieces to again create a gradient in our blend. We are gonna let this process for 20 minutes and then we will do a melt on top of this and it's gonna look so good. Okay guys, it's time to rinse. It's been 20 minutes and this is a very important tip that I wanted to include. So I grabbed all of her in-between hair and pulled it slightly forward. And we are gonna, you can either have your assistant or your model hold the braids up while you rinse the color. The reason why is I have made this mistake and I don't want you to. When you rinse the color out, it grabs on the blonde and it makes it very, very ashy. And if people don't want that, it's very difficult to remove. So do yourself a favor and rinse the blonde separately from the color so that you don't run into an overly ashy blonde. All right, rinse time. All right, guys, we are all rinsed and now it is time for the Scandinavian hairline. I'm gonna come through and comb down our money piece sections that we pre-sectioned out for this. Next to her ear as well. Making sure that you're including the temples so that it's uniform all the way around and you don't have any gaps. Same thing on the other side. Okay, we're gonna comb the hair straight back to make sure that it's out of the way. I'm gonna start by her ear. I'm using Blonde IQ and 20 volume at a 1:1 ratio. So it's nice and thick. I'm just gonna apply on the root. I'm using 20 volume. And then moving to the front, I'm actually gonna pull this piece back first to make sure that I'm getting all those little hairs, and then pull it down and then apply. And then repeat the same thing on the other side. For Scandinavian hairlines, you, in my opinion, should not do a Scandinavian hairline on anyone that is below a natural level 6.5. It just doesn't translate well. I don't think it looks right, but that's just my opinion. If I had a Scandinavian hairline, people would walk by me and be like, is she okay? Usually people with naturally lighter levels can pull off a Scandinavian hairline better. We're gonna get this on and we're gonna let this process for about 15 minutes and then we'll do her toner melt. All right, guys, it is time for our final tone, but look at how blended and beautiful this already looks. You can see the lightness laying on top of the more dimension in the back. Seamless, stunning. We have to take care of this pink at her root and deepen her root just a touch to make the blonde pop even more. So I'm gonna go in with shades ALK. I'm gonna use 10 grams of 6N, 5 grams of 7N, and 3 grams of 7AG with 10 volume. I'm using the 7AG to cancel out some of the warm tones from that underlying pink that she has, because I did not want to bleach that and strip that out. So the ALK is gonna provide some really nice coverage for that. On the blonde on the ends, I am going to do 20 grams of clear and 5 grams of 10G. I just wanna seal her ends down with the toner and add a touch of gold with the 10G. And I'm gonna mix that with processing solution. First, I'm gonna section out her Scandinavian hairline, because I do not want to root that. And then I'm just gonna section off the sides. So first things first, I'm gonna apply my ends color, just leaving out the very roots. So leaving zone 1 and completely saturating zones 2 and 3. I like to do this first and then blend the root into it. I find that it provides a better blend for the root to glide into it. So I'm just gonna apply this all over her hair and then we will do her root. Okay, I got her color all over zones 2 and 3. Now I'm gonna go back to zone 1 to do her root with the shades ALK. We are gonna do a little bit more than a ½ inch just to deepen her root a touch and cancel out some of those unwanted pink tones. So I'm just gonna go all over her whole head and meticulously apply this mini root. So in the back, I'm just gonna outline, and then I'm gonna start from the bottom and work my way up, but you can certainly flip the hair if you would like. Okay, we have her toner and her root fully applied. We're gonna let this process for 20 minutes and then I'll bring you back for the final result. All right guys, these are gorgeous final results. Look at how beautiful and blended this is. I'm literally beside myself. Look at this. You see how it's more blonde on top and that dimension is coming through and popping underneath. Scandinavian hairline is nice and bright. Solid blonde ends. I mean, chef's kiss, baby. Beautiful. Do you love it, Zadie?
Yeah, I love it. It actually looks really pretty.
I'm gonna give this a curl so you guys can see more of the dimension. Look at all this beautiful dimension. Oh my God. I'm just gonna run my hands through these curls a little bit. Beautiful. Stunning.
It's beautiful.
From all over blonde, bleach retouch to effortless summer lived in blonde. How absolutely gorgeous. All right guys, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. This is a really good technique to have in your arsenal for the perfect summer blonde and to convert your bleach retouches to a nice, soft, dimensional look. If you try it, be sure to tag me. I would love to see your work and I'll see you next time.